Yeah, that's kind of the reason why I wanted to get you on is because I don't know anybody else who knows the language of sign spinning at your
Well,
level.
that was the first thing I did in 2004, was because before I started, there wasn't a a clear definition of what a spin, a flip, and a twist was.
Yeah.
That was the first thing I did, was like, what's the difference between a turn of the wrist and a twist of the wrist?
Hmm.
Like, what's the difference between this and this? So like, that was literally the first thing I did, was try to establish a baseline of spin is z-axis, flip is x-axis, and twist is y-axis, like that, because it wasn't. I mean, and that's why you see the basketball flip being weird,
Hmm.
because it was named prior to uh, prior to my diction defining of it all.
Yeah. Prior to your intervention.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, and I think it's very realistic to describe sign spinning in terms of dance rather than visual art. I mean, people, it's like the general public has trouble assessing, like, the in a critical way, what art is, and how, like, and the underlying theory of all of it, and like, why certain paintings can bring people to tears, and why certain dances make people laugh, and like, uh and why certain sign spinning is more effective than others. Why what the role of, like, for music, what's the role, and in visual art, what's the role of the rest, what's the role of the negative space, what's the role of presentation? All of those things are, like, the absence, the negative space, but it's also some of the most essential parts to art.
Yeah, it's no more true than in stand-up comedy too. Those moments of
Oh yeah,
silence are sometimes really important.
yeah, the setup, and the explanation, and the cadence, like, there's no discussion about cadence in side spinning.
It's interesting that you mentioned cadence because Jessica, she actually said she was asking about timing and
Zero.
what our relationship to timing is. I would argue that there is a small relationship to timing, because often we're focusing on timing lights, or sometimes our timing is based on reaction, like how we perform in a timely manner is based on, am I receiving feedback from this particular person, or am I going to pause and allow for a reading of the sign.
Yeah, but that's more like a length rather than an interval. And I mean, like, you might, and also, like, it's never been exact. Like, I personally count. Like, I would keep counts in my head. Like, I would know whether an intersection was 25 seconds or 30.
Yeah.
And I mean, the crosswalk will cheat for you, but like, uh nobody's it's not it I mean, and that's, dude, choreography.
Yeah.
There's a reason that
Oh.
Georgetown was the only choreography we ever did.